Hi, this is the third time I've come live today, but I think this is very much in vogue at the moment. Not in a good way, in a very hopefully not a disastrous way if it can be contained and quarantined is the coronavirus. Okay, now I have had a number of requests for this, and I think one was Raza Razor. I can see that you requested this, so I'm kind of doing on YouTube and I also got quite a few comments about this coronavirus. Well, it is concerning. I think I did pick up very kind of lightly in one of the readings that I felt that this was from a lab. I don't know where the labs are in China. The source does come from. I pick up, I don't know whether this is facts. I know a lot of you are going to think, what the hell is she talking about? This is intuitive energy readings, looking in between the lines and picking up here intuitively. Okay, so what do I pick up here? Well, the source is from China, originally from China, and I get that this was made in a lab, and it's a mutated form of the SARS virus. So I have no idea how this. Well, I've got some idea how this has got into the atmosphere. And I think I've mentioned this. How is this mutated virus that it's more severe than the SARS virus actually got into the atmosphere in the public atmosphere away from that lab in China? How has that happened? Well, why I'm doing a reading is because there's too many powers that be that are now concerned about this. And I did pick up that this was exposed in like a train station that was packed with people. I think there's been about nearly 6,000 people. It's spreading very fast. There's 6,000 people in China that's been affected by this virus in a matter of a week or so. I think 2 weeks. I'm not sure of the timing. I've not done the research there, but I think it's in a matter of like 2 weeks, about 150 people have died from this in China. So now it's a public health concern, and the World Health Organization is concerned about this. There's also the powers that be. Other country leaders have kind of they're setting up quarantines in army bases. Yeah, and when they arrive into the country, into the UK, they go straight to either an RAF base or an army base for quarantine for at least 2 weeks. So this is serious, guys. It's a serious virus, and I did pick up like last week that this was actually released into the atmosphere in China to cut down the population and to stop these riots, and actually teach, put an illness into the atmosphere to slow the public down. The public anger, the public angst, the revolution, or whatever you want to call it. It feels like this was put into. It feels like it's being biologically made in a laboratory. And it's meant to, and this is speculation too. It's an intuitive energy reading, but I picked this up before before they set up decided to set up, as soon as aircraft come into the UK or America, they go straight to an army base. Why on earth would they do that? I don't think they've ever done that before. So they must have picked up that this was released into by the government into China to slow down this kind of revolt from these young kind of people, and to stop this revolution, or something to do with cutting down the population in China. Whatever it is, it was to stop something in China. I don't know, I can't pinpoint that, but it was something to stop something in China. Well, this is a stupid thing to do, because anything, if anybody's going to do any kind of biological warfare against against a civil war, or whatever it is very irresponsible to do this, to release something that was made in a lab that's mutated and which is more serious than the SARS virus. Okay. Now, I'm picking this up intuitively. It's not fact. I have to express this. But I predicted this last week, that this was something that's been released. And now this has got other world leaders panicking. So if anybody comes into the country, they will have to go straight to an army base or an RAF base to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. When have we ever had this? Kind of. Again, I've predicted something I feel is coming to fruition. Very irresponsible of a government to do that, to try to slow down its population of whatever they're doing, because we have English citizens in China. We have business people in China. We have teachers in China. And they're going to be coming backwards and forwards to other countries, and it's going to spread worldwide. I feel there will be an investigation. I'll look into the cards in a moment. Okay. Now I just need to my cup of tea. I've been so busy. I've got as many, I know, look, guys, I know that you've requested on Patreon. I know that. The reason I said, if you want to make your requests, because it's a community, it didn't mean that I was going to do every single one. Okay. And I feel, please don't leave me because you feel that I've not done your requests. It was just something that I can look at the requests and I can choose maybe 2 or 3 from the requests. I wasn't going to go through the list. I'd be working 24/7 trying to churn out these videos. So please don't be offended if I did not get to your request. Okay, it's just something that you can suggest for the community. But somebody did request this. A number of people have requested this coronavirus. It's concerning. It should be concerning. And again, I feel another one of my readings has come to fruition, because I said that it was something that's been released as some kind of biological warfare. Whether this is civil, like their own country warfare, which that's what I pick up, or whether it's a warfare against other. I feel it's China that's done that in their own country. That's what I get. The only thing is, this is a mutated form of SARS virus. Not good. I mean, they're trying to make a vaccine for this, but it's going to be quite difficult to make a vaccine on a virus that's mutated. Now, this is something I can come into my own with, having a medical background. Yeah, this was made in a lab. And this is why other governments on the borders of any aircraft that comes in from China are saying that if you come into another country, you'll be in quarantine in an army base. In an army base, okay. I think there is cases in America already. In the UK, there's been one case so far, I feel. Or there will be one case, but that's it so far. The UK have kind of put, you will have to go, people dressed up in these suits. This is quite serious. I don't feel we realise how serious this is. It's an incurable kind of virus. And it not just kills off vulnerable people. I feel this was planned to lay out people for at least a month or so and kill off some kind of vulnerable set of people to bring down the population. Now, this needs to be investigated. Absolutely. Okay, how did that get into the atmosphere? How did that get into the atmosphere? So let me look at this. Is this a biological virus that was made in a laboratory and released into let me have a look. Yeah, it was against this kind of revolt from the Chinese people. It was just getting out of control, and it's a communist country, and they're trying to keep their people controlled, and they were losing that battle of keeping their people under control. I feel this is the thing that's coming through, because I get this card here, which is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is the majority of people feel like they cannot speak, they feel tied up, they feel trapped, and they want revolution in their country, okay. And this was to stop these people, because we only have to look at the riots and the severe kind of things that the government was using against the students in the riots. And but this is another step, another level. This is another level, okay. They were losing control of their people, and they had to kind of get them kind of trapped again, okay. There's no way to treat your citizens of your country, is it? So let's have a look here. Eight of Swords is trying to contain this, okay, in China. I don't feel it's anything to do with the US. The US would not do that, okay. I don't feel any civilized. Well, I'm not saying that China's not civilized. It is civilized. It is civilized, only that it's a communist country, and they've had lots of revolts there of their own people. You know, stopping them from having children, having kind of human rights, and lots of things going on there. Why can't we have what the rest of the world has? And you know, and why do we have to go by these rules? So there's lots and lots of revolt against their own. I don't feel it's the USA would not do that. You know, a civilized country like the USA, England, no. If they're going to if they're going to leak out some kind of virus that's more virulent than the SARS virus, they know that this is going to spread to Africa, Germany, the rest of the world. So nobody would do that, because eventually it would turn into some kind of second kind of plague, where they would lose control of it. So that's why they've got the borders, these controls. If we've got a flight coming from China, they go straight to the army base. When have we ever done that over a virus? yeah, it's reached Africa, and places like Africa who have not got these stringent kind of border things like quarantine rules, like Australia, America, England, Germany, rest of Europe. It's just going to get through. It's just going to spread like wildfire. Okay, it spreads very quickly too. Okay, it's a virus. It cannot be cured by any antibiotics. It's useless. It will just, if you get that, you'll need hospitalization. If you get that, you will probably have to go on a breathing machine. If not the CPAP to help you breathe, it would be you'd have to have a hole put in here and to help you breathe, because that's how bad it would be. Yeah. So yeah, if you got that and you were trying to survive that, if you're elderly, you wouldn't survive it. It's okay. Hi everyone. So this is a different subject. It's the coronavirus, which is very, very, and if it gets into the family, it's something that would spread through the family, through families, like crazy. Now, this is next to this. This is China. Okay, they're trying to cut down their population. People are ignoring the government and having more children. And so to cut this, now this is communism. To cut down the population, well, they're not listening to us. They're having babies, and they're revolting against the government. We have to do something about this. This is a mutated form. They need to get. It's all right saying I've had the flu jab. That's no good towards anything against this. This is something, it's like one of them movies you watch, and I'm not trying to scare you. It's like one of those movies you watch, the War of the Worlds, where it's just not the War of the Worlds, but it's like this is like would make a blockbuster movie. It's something that's you can't just get it. They haven't even made a vaccine for it. So how can it be in the flu jab? So it's not even in the flu jabs, guys. It's not even, they've not even got a vaccine for it yet. So, I mean, why would those people be wearing those suits, like those space suits, if there's a vaccine? If there's a vaccine, give the medical people the vaccine first. But there's no vaccine. There's no vaccine. They're in these suits, like this is like a plague, and they always said like the end of the world. Would it be another plague? Is this part of another world where where there would be a plague? This is bad, guys, and I think we should take this seriously. In fact, I think we should buy some masks. If you can get masks from your pharmacy, go and get some tomorrow, because this is going to be bad. Okay, it's going to start to spread. And I get here the tower. This can't get any worse. This cannot get any worse. This cannot get in. What I'm seeing here, I'm going to summarize this. China has created this virus in a lab that's mutated from the SARS virus to purposely bring down their population and to stop the people in their country from revolt. Now, stupid thing to do, but they're communists, and it's something that these people do if they don't go by the rules. So now the whole world is panicking, okay, because of this. And I'm not panicking you, okay. I'm just helping you to. This is this is actually, this is not for sensationalization. I predicted a week ago that this was something that had been released into the atmosphere deliberately. And then a week after, we get all these patrols on the borders sending people from aeroplanes straight to army bases for quarantine. This is serious. Serious, guys. Okay. Now, I feel that England are saying that they've got this contained. Okay. I think, yeah, they are kind of caution. The next card here is caution. The Nine of Wands is caution, taking lots of, all they have to do, I think they have to do this, is be cautious of this virus. It's a virus, it's something that can wipe out people. So we have I feel this is very, I feel that the governments of the world kind of realizing that something's happened here that shouldn't have happened. Donald Trump, especially our Prime Minister, Bojo, is saying, come on, we need to stop this from getting into our country. Not just that, we have an NHS that's broken anyway. So if we get this, it's just going to break our health service. So this is really taken seriously. They've even employed the army into this. Now, this is heartbreaking. I feel this is a shock to the leaders that this is happening. Okay. Yeah, I get that Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, world leaders are shocked that this has happened. They're absolutely gutted, and it's like they're heartbroken. Oh my God, it's like, oh my goodness, why did they do this? How foolish is that? The Fool card. How foolish is that? Now, I get here to bring down the population. I really find it difficult to believe, and I know it sounds difficult to believe, but this is what I get. It also, anybody with a weak heart, this will attack. I don't want to frighten people in America, in the Western world, because I don't want to frighten people in the West, because we have precautions, and it does say here we are taking precautions and being cautious. And the next card is the Prince of Cups, okay, which is in reverse. The Prince of Cups here is hiding this deception. These people have been foolish, this government have been foolish, and now they're going to hide this deception, what they've done. Okay. Well, somebody's just said they're all negative cards. What do you expect? We're talking about a deadly virus. If you want moonbeams and fairy tales, go somewhere else, okay? And don't insult my readings. So, all negative cards. What are you talking about? This is about a virus. Goodness sake. So let's summarize here. As I said a week ago, this seems to be something that were made in a lab, that's been mutated to be stronger than the SARS virus. That's been something that other government leaders feel that this is very, very serious. How foolish is that? They're heartbroken because they know this is going to spread. They know that this is going to spread. Okay. So this is where we're at, guys. So even if you go to the chemist, and I'm going to the chemist in a couple of days, actually. I'm going to see if they've got any of those masks. Go and get yourself one of those masks. Even if you just get one, okay. Even if you just get one and say, okay, I'm going to say what Yvonne's done, although it may not need to use that. Just get one of those masks, okay. Put it in a drawer somewhere, and if it does come to where you have to use it, you can at least wash it at home, disinfect it, dry it, and use it again. And all that. I know you're not supposed to do that, but at least you've got one there, okay. Yeah, so I won't take this. Let's see how serious this is. I feel like countries. It's already in Germany. Germany. There's already cases in Germany. There's cases in Africa. There's one case here so far. I mean, we don't know of anybody else that's. We have the rest of Europe. I feel the next place will be in France. I feel there'll be a case in France coming up. And slowly in each country, and it's going to be a bit of a worry, in all honesty. Now, what I'm going to do is ask if they are going to contain this. Are they going to contain this coronavirus? Yeah, I get cases in Australia too. It's the movement from China by air. Any kind of, that's how it spreads in aeroplanes from. That's how they're going to try to control it, is at the airports, and diverting flights to RAF bases. So how serious can that be? There's something wrong here, guys. There's something wrong. When they're diverting aeroplanes from China to RAF bases, there's something wrong. So let's have a look. Is this going to get... Is this going to get out of control? Are they going to contain this? Well, I get they will. There's going to be cases where people die in England through this. I get intensive care being on, but it's not going to be a huge amount of cases. So let's have a look. Is this going to be contained? Is the coronavirus going to be contained? Is this coronavirus going to be contained? Yeah, if they quarantine, okay. If they quarantine people and make sure that they have not got this. So get the hermit card. And the hermit card is alone. Alone. If they quarantine somebody alone in a room, in a place, until they have got over their fever, got over, and made sure that they've not got this virus, then yes, if they do the quarantine properly, they will be able to control this. But not all countries are going to do that, are they? Like I said, it will be like Australia, America, England, France, Europe that will actually quarantine. And some places in Europe are very strict in foreign people coming in with diseases. So this will be quite strict to contain this. And this is going to set up, gosh, they're going to set up like little kind of units for this at airports. I've just picked like there's like a little quarantine things at airports. So the Four of Cups is Yeah, I feel the Four of Cups. Yeah, don't ignore this. Don't ignore this. Okay, the Four of Cups, what I pick up here is don't ignore it. Don't ignore. Do not ignore this virus. You know, this is like this virus here, and this person is ignoring it. So obviously, it's saying don't ignore it. What I pick up here is it's going to be scary because they're going to set up like mini little hospitals in units in airports, and you know, in these spacesuits, which is going to be scary, and also diverting planes from China to air bases before and quarantine people before they allow them to come into the country. Now that's one thing but I feel that they've got to do this because they've realized that this is a mutated virus that's been released from a lab purposely. So that's what I'm picking up, and I can't pick up any more than that. That's what I'm picking up. So I hope that maybe people will be cautious because they've listened to this Okay, so let's have a look at some of your comments. So this was requested for some of my followers, so I thought I'd follow up on that. Okay, Jonah. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, yeah. Judy Dobson, population control. That's what I pick up. This will speed worldwide. Absolutely, very serious. I think so, and especially starting in China. Yeah, it's very, Petra, it's very time consuming to develop a vaccine to be administered in humans. Absolutely. Sometimes it takes a year or so, or 2 years to make a virus. It's not, a vaccine. It's not something you can produce overnight. Um, no, I pick up it wasn't Paula that I pick up it wasn't an accidental release. I don't pick that up. I feel it was a deliberate release from the Chinese government. That's what I pick up, and that's why there's this kind of reaction that other governments are taking. Yeah, moons, balloons. I know. Try, yeah. And polo took forever. Lots of viruses took forever to produce. Yeah. Well, I feel it was released by a government. I don't feel it was by any kind of trickster. I feel this was deliberately to bring the population down or to stop this revolt in China. Okay, this government didn't know how to control this. Yeah, that I feel that there will be investigations into this. We'll never know the truth. This will be speculation forever. We'll never get to know that somebody deliberately put that into the atmosphere to control. They're never going to release that. Um, we will never get to know that. To try to stop China's population, because there was this kind of climate change, um, and there were reports about climate change that was going to hit China quite bad. With the population, if it keeps rising in China, how are they going to cope with the climate change? And it will corrupt, trying to protect their country and their people from the effects of climate change, because China's going to be one that's going to be hit really bad with that. How are they going to protect? Because they're already overpopulated. This is what I pick up. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I've been on 3 times today, and you know, yeah. So I'm going to leave it now. So thank you for joining me. I'm just answering that request about the coronavirus. What I pick up. I've said too much, but this is just to let you know. This is an intuitive energy reading. I pick up this was deliberately put into. This is why there is this panic to control this. Okay. So sending you guys lots of love. Protect yourself, and I would just get one of those masks just in case. Okay, just in case. Thank you, and bye for now. Bye bye.